Ever felt her slipping away and your first instinct is to chase? Stop. Most men push her further away when they try to fix things. Today I'm going to show you the exact words to say when she pulls away. Words that make her miss you and shift the power in your favor. When she pulls away, your gut instinct tells you to chase after her, to close that emotional gap as quickly as possible. It's natural. You feel the distance growing and immediately the panic sets in. You start overthinking every interaction, wondering if you said or did something wrong. Maybe you even send her a few more texts than you usually would, just to check in. You might ask her if everything's okay or if you've done something to upset her. But here's the cold, hard truth. The more you chase her, the more you push her away. Most men, when faced with a woman pulling back, react out of fear. They fear that they're losing her, that the connection is slipping away. This fear drives them to overcompensate by pouring even more energy into the relationship, trying to fix what they perceive as broken. The problem with this approach is that it doesn't address the core issue. Women don't pull away because they want more attention. They pull away because they want to see if you can handle a little distance. Let me break it down for you. When a woman starts to pull away, it's often because she's testing you. She's not necessarily losing interest. She's creating space to see how you'll react. This is where most men fail. They can't handle the test. They panic. They get desperate. They start sending text after text, trying to pull her back into their orbit. But all of that neediness only confirms what she was afraid of, that you're too invested too soon. What's the right move then? When she pulls away, instead of freaking out and trying to fill the gap, you need to stay calm and collected. You need to show her that you're not rattled by a little bit of distance. Imagine this. She sends you a text saying, "I've been really busy lately." Most guys would immediately jump to the conclusion that they've done something wrong. They might text back with, "Is everything okay?" or "Did I upset you?" But the key here is to play it cool. Respond with something simple like, "Totally get it, take your time." These 5 words convey 2 powerful things. First, that you respect her space, and second, that you're not fazed by her pulling away. You're showing her that you're confident enough to give her room without losing your cool. This approach flips the dynamic. You're no longer the one chasing her, you're the one she's curious about. You see, the moment you stop chasing, something powerful happens. You create space for her to miss you. And here's the thing. Women need to miss you to feel that pull of attraction again. If you're constantly available, constantly texting, always there, she never has the opportunity to experience life without you. And without that sense of absence, she won't feel the urge to close the distance. When you give her space, when you're not always in her face, she starts to wonder what you're up to. She starts thinking about you, replaying your conversations, and realizing what she's missing. And this is the part most guys struggle with, the silence. When things go quiet, when she pulls back, they feel the need to fill that silence. They start sending more messages, liking her Instagram posts, trying to find some way to re-establish the connection. But the reality is that silence is not something you need to be afraid of. In fact, silence can be your greatest ally if you know how to use it. When she pulls away, she's not expecting you to stay calm. She's expecting you to react. She's waiting for that flood of messages, for you to ask her why she's distant, for you to try and fix things. And when you don't do any of that, when you let the silence hang, it drives her crazy. Why? Because now, instead of you being the one wondering where she is, she's the one wondering what you're up to. The more you let that silence breathe, the more she starts to feel the distance herself. She starts to realize that she might be losing something valuable. And here's the kicker. The moment she feels like she's losing you, that's when she comes running back. This is human psychology at its core. We value what we can't have. And when you show her that you're not going to chase after her, that you're not desperate for her attention, you instantly become more valuable in her eyes. Think about it this way. If you're always available, always reaching out, there's no mystery. There's no tension. But when you step back and give her space, you create a sense of scarcity. And scarcity is what drives desire. The less she sees of you, the more she starts to want you. She starts to miss your presence, the attention you used to give her, the connection you shared. And this is where most men screw up. They don't give her the space to miss them. So, what should you do when she pulls away? The answer is simple. Do nothing. Don't send that extra text. Don't like her latest social media post. Don't try to close the gap. Let her feel the distance. Let her sit in the silence. And trust me, that silence is doing more work for you than any message ever could. When you let that silence hang, you're sending a clear message. You're confident, you're secure, and you don't need her constant validation. And that, my friends, is incredibly attractive. Women are drawn to men who are self-assured, who don't crumble at the first sign of trouble. When she sees that you're not chasing after her, that you're perfectly fine with a little bit of space, she starts to wonder what's going on with you. And that curiosity is what pulls her back. Curiosity is the foundation of attraction. The moment she starts wondering why you're not reacting like every other guy, why you're not blowing up her phone, that's when she starts thinking about you. And once she starts thinking about you, you're back in her head. She starts replaying conversations, remembering the good times, and slowly she realizes that she misses you. But here's where things get tricky. When she does come back, and she will, you have to play it right. Most guys, when she reaches out after pulling away, get too excited. They see that text pop up on their phone and immediately want to dive into why she pulled away. They might ask, "Why did you stop texting me?" Or "Are we okay?" But these kinds of questions come from a place of insecurity, and insecurity is the last thing you want to show when she finally comes back. Instead, you need to keep it cool. When she reaches out, don't ask why she was distant. Don't dig for answers. Keep your response short, simple, and casual. Something like, "Hey, good to hear from you." That's it. Why does this work? Because it shows her that you're not rattled by her pulling away. You're not desperate to know why she went quiet. You're calm, collected, and confident. By responding like this, you're telling her, without saying it outright, that you're perfectly fine whether she's in your life or not. And that's powerful. You're showing her that you're not emotionally dependent on her. You're secure in yourself, and you're not going to fall apart just because she created a little distance. And that kind of confidence is incredibly attractive. When she sees that you're not chasing after her, that you're not holding a grudge, she'll feel a mix of relief and curiosity. Relief because she expected you to be upset or clingy, and curiosity because she doesn't understand why you're not reacting like every other guy. And that's the key. You want to be different. You want to stand out from the crowd of men who would have crumbled in the face of her pulling away. This calm, collected response is what separates you from the rest. It shows her that you're the kind of guy who can handle a little distance without losing his cool. And that's when she starts to see you in a new light. You're not the needy guy who's desperate for her attention. You're the confident man who knows his worth. And here's another thing to keep in mind. When she comes back, don't jump back in too quickly. Give her a little space even then. Don't immediately flood her with attention just because she reached out. Keep things light, keep things casual, and let her work a little to regain your full attention. Why? Because this shows her that you're not going to fall into old patterns. You're still maintaining that sense of scarcity, that sense of mystery. And that's what keeps the attraction alive. Remember, attraction thrives on tension. If there's no tension, there's no attraction. And the best way to create tension is to give her space. Let her miss you. Let her wonder about you. Let her come to you. When you do this, you're shifting the power dynamic in your favor. You're no longer the one chasing after her. You've become the prize. And that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? To be the man that she wants to pursue, not the one who's constantly chasing after her. By staying calm, by giving her space, by letting the silence work for you, you're creating an environment where she feels the need to come back to you. And when she does, you'll be in control. So the next time she pulls away, don't panic. Don't overthink it. Don't try to fix things. Just step back, stay calm, and let her come to you. Trust me, she will. And when she does, you'll be ready to handle it like the confident, self-assured man that you are. That's how you win the game. That's how you keep her coming back for more. You've got this.